To love and be loved is to feel the sun from both sides. The past is frozen and no longer flows, and the present is all lit up with eternal rays. Don't use words too big for the subject. Don't say, infinitely, when you mean very, otherwise you'll have no word left when you want to talk about something really infinite. The future is something which everyone reaches at the rate of 60 minutes an hour, whatever he does, whoever he is. Can a mortal ask questions which God finds unanswerable? Quite easily, I should think. All nonsense questions are unanswerable. We are what we believe we are. Has this world been so kind to you that you should leave with regret? There are better things ahead than any we leave behind. Miracles do not, in fact, break the laws of nature. Literature adds to reality, it does not simply describe it. It enriches the necessary competencies that daily life requires and provides, and in this respect, it irrigates the deserts that our lives have already become. It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird, it would be a jolly sight harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg. We are like eggs at present. And you cannot go on indefinitely being just an ordinary, decent egg. We must be hatched or go bad. When Christ died, he died for you individually just as much as if you'd been the only man in the world. A dogmatic belief in objective value is necessary to the very idea of a rule which is not tyranny or an obedience which is not slavery. Nothing is more dangerous to one's own faith than the work of an apologist. No doctrine of that faith seems to me so spectral, so unreal as one that I have just successfully defended in a public debate. Do not dare not to dare. Always prefer the plain direct word to the long, vague one. Don't implement promises, but keep them. Writing is like a lust, or like scratching when you itch. Writing comes as a result of a very strong impulse, and when it does come, for one, must get it out. How incessant and great are the ills with which a prolonged old age is replete. We are not living in a world where all roads are radii of a circle and where all, if followed long enough, will therefore draw gradually nearer and finally meet at the center, rather in a world where every road, after a few miles, forks into two, and each of those into two again, and at each fork. You must make a decision. The task of the modern educator is not to cut down jungles, but to irrigate deserts. The long, dull, monotonous years of middle-aged prosperity or middle-aged adversity are excellent campaigning weather for the devil. I think that all things, in their way, reflect heavenly truth, the imagination not least. Love is not affectionate feeling, but a steady wish for the loved person's ultimate good as far as it can be obtained. This is one of the miracles of love, it gives a power of seeing through its own enchantments and yet not being disenchanted. God can't give us peace and happiness apart from himself because there is no such thing. 30 was so strange for me. I've really had to come to terms with the fact that I am now a walking and talking adult. Faith is the art of holding on to things in spite of your changing moods and circumstances. There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind. We are all fallen creatures and all very hard to live with. Humans are amphibians, half spirit and half animal. As spirits they belong to the eternal world, but as animals they inhabit time.